Greetings to everybody. In this video, I'd like to share with you all what motivates me to join the defense forces. How did this journey of mine start? So, both my parents were state government officials, and based on that, they always felt that our children should be in the civil services. In the class one post, they should be officers having a bigger post than us, and all that. So, initially, even my goal was the same: join the civil services as an IS officer. Since eighth grade, I had this dream, and I had given it a thought, a lot of thought. Okay, what is it that I want to do in life? So I was clear that since I was always in NGO work and I wanted to impact people's lives in a good way, what better way could I do it? So the best way to do it was by becoming an IS officer. I can influence so many lives by becoming that in a good way. So that was my dream, and then 8 onwards, I had given it a thought that after 12th, I might go to Delhi to prepare for the civil services, join some academy in my city itself. And my plan was to do graduation side by side. I would prepare for the civil services exam because eligibility is graduation. So as soon as I graduate, I'll give civil services attempt and then become an ass, all that. But then in 12th grade, when in the second semester in November 2015, my uncle had come home and he told me that he himself is a senior officer but in the civil services. So he told me that, Sarvesh, based on your personality and all that I've known you since childhood, I think you should really try for this academy known as the National Defense Academy, which is in Pune itself. I was not even aware about NDA, NCC. I've just heard about it, but I didn't know ki kya itna, I didn't know in detail. So then I said, I gave it a thought. Even I thought, ki, yes, I'm a very adventurous person, very outgoing one. So why not look into whatever uncle is telling me? So coincidentally, my mummy, she got two passes for the National Defense Academy passing out parade. And it was the main parade, not the deputy and the practice parade. It was the main parade. And I remember I have no defense background. I had no clue of how people dress up or how do they turn up, and I had no clue about anything. So I just had a beard and all everything even then. So I just went. I wore a 3/4 and a sweater. It was winter. I wore a 3/4 and a sweater saying ki yaar aise kuch hoga. And then I went. The first thing I saw was all the security checks and all. It was such a beautiful campus. We went through the main gate. Very beautiful campus. And then the first thing I saw was all the security checks and all. I was very shocked. This level of security and all. First thing I saw was the number of basketball courts and the football grounds. That made me so happy because I've always been a sports and games enthusiast. I've always wanted to develop myself as an all-rounder. Was more into games and sports more than studies anytime. So, but in school, we didn't really get a lot of time until and unless you're in some team practicing for some competitions or house events. On weekly basis, we just had one games period, and that was not enough for me. That was torture because I just got to play once in a week. So I was very fond of games and sports. So when I saw that, I was so impressed. Wow, इतने सारे courts and grounds है तो ये तो बहुत खेलते होंगे सब बहुत खेलते होंगे. So I was impressed by that first thing. Later, I saw all the officers, ex-officers, retired officers, serving officers, young officers recently passed out, all dressed up extremely well in the proper suits, proper fitting, right? Proper clean shave and all, everything. It was so impressive. The way they interacted with each other. I just walked by and was listening to them. The way they spoke with each other, the way they walked, it was very impressive. I was really impressed. And then I felt so ashamed that what am I doing here wearing 3/4 and a sweater? So that was one thing. And later, then we sat in the stand. Then the parade started. It was winters, so it was foggy. So we couldn't really see on the Ketarpal parade ground, but we could hear uh, voices coming from the right side, and Josh called or whatever it was, and then the gates opened and the cadets started marching with full of Josh, all their cries and whatnot. It was full of Josh. It was very inspiring. They started walking and did all their parade, and also neither my mom nor I had any clue ki what is happening. We had no clue because we have never witnessed something like that. But then I realized it's very impressive. And then my mom, I looked at her. So when everything just almost got over, we saw young cadets of around 3 years elder to me walking march past in front of us going. And then I looked at my mother and I saw that glare in her eyes. Every parent would want their son or daughter to do something like this, because passing out parade, it's an extremely important event. It is an extremely special event for the cadets as well as their parents, right? So that was the case. And so I realized that I want to do something this big in my life to ensure that my mother sees me with those glares. Whenever I saw her eyes moisten, and when she looked at me, and I looked at her and I just smiled. So then we were staring at the parade, and one funny incident happened that the adjutant who's horse riding, he's on the horse. So I said, "Ki, Mummy, I really like horse riding and very fond of horses." So I said, "Ki, Mummy, I'd like to be that guy. I'd like to sit on the horse and then do the gallop and whatnot." Then my mummy just said, we were completely unaware. She said, "Ki, जिसको drill नहीं आती है उनको घोड़े पे बिठा दे." So very, very, very funny scene. So that was very inspirational. And then when they were walking on that Antim Pug, and a pug, I'm sorry, the Antim path. Uh, After that, when we saw them in front of the Sudan block, so we saw that everybody is extremely cheerful, enjoying with each other, Josh push-ups. All the previous officers are joining them, enjoying. Everybody is enjoying. They're lifting each other up, and I felt so special. I was so attracted to that. Since childhood, I've been staying alone. Since my parents were government officials, they were posted here and there. So this friends have been an extremely important part of my life. The only reason I enjoyed going to school was friends, because I have my friends there. I want to enjoy and chill with them. The only reason, the amount of sports I played, most of them were games, team sports. Why did I do that? Because my friends are with me. So this camaraderie and brotherhood factor was inbuilt in me since long time. And when I experienced that in front of me at the passing out parade, when everybody was celebrating together and all, so I was so impressed. I could think of nothing else while going back home. When I went back home, I researched about the National Defense Academy, what it is, how to get in. And I started crying that day. I started crying because I'd realized, sounds fictional, but I'd realized that this is a calling for me. This is where I'm meant to be. This is where I belong, that sense of belongingness factor. I realized that, and I'd started crying because it was one of the happiest days of my life, as I'd realized that this is something which I really want. Never before that had I wanted something so bad in my life, or wanted to achieve something so bad in my life. So that is how my journey started. And then I kept giving attempts. Then I got an NCC, and NCC, I saw so many officers. I met hundreds of officers, right? And then I met my mentors, Colonel Kulkarni, Brigadier Bodhe, and Wing Commander Mahajan, Wing Commander Tyag Raman. I had met so many officers, and they really inspired me a lot. So they ensure that that Josh and the motivation and inspiration with me stays just as fresh as it was. So being motivated like that, even in NCC, I did a lot of camps, RDC, by EP. Doing all these camps kept me motivated towards my dream of joining the defense. That's how I motivated myself. So that is the reason why I wanted to join the defense force. Now, why the Indian Air Force? Because I am an extreme adventure enthusiast. I've done a lot of adventure activities in my life, and I will continue doing so. So without adventure, my life is incomplete, totally incomplete. So I wanted a mixture of everything, a defense lifestyle, lots and lots of adventure. I wanted a combo of all this. Then I had researched about, got to know about fighter pilots. Researched, I saw the thrill, the speed, the just the thought of flying faster than the speed of sound. I cannot imagine anything being more adventurous than this. That is when I decided that I will become a fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force. So the dream is still on. I'll give my best to achieve my dream. Let's see. So that is how I got motivated toward defense forces, and that is a glimpse of my journey of how it started and what motivated me towards joining defense forces. And oh, one more important thing in the SSB, in the interviews, they ask you, what is your dream, or why do you want to join the defense forces or the specific force? Why Indian Air Force, Indian Army, Indian Navy, whatever it is? Be true to your heart. Answer with your heart, with an open heart. Do not think कि इनको ऐसे सुपरफिशियल आंसर्स चाहिए कि मुझे देश सेवा करनी है, या फिर बहुत ज्यादा रिस्पेक्टफुल लाइफस्टाइल होती है, करप्शन नहीं होता है, पेमेंट बहुत अच्छा होता है, या पर्क्स एंड बेनिफिट्स बहुत अच्छे हैं, या फिर डिसिप्लिन लाइफस्टाइल है एकदम. सो all these are on paper things, but might be somebody's primary reason to join the defense. That's fine. What I'm trying to tell you is answer from your heart. Give it a thought, introspect, give it a lot of thought. Ki why defense? What really motivates me towards defense? Why will I be happy when in defense? Find that out. When you're aware of that thing, that helps you keep motivated even in your difficult times, even when you're not getting selected, not clearing written exams, getting screened out, not getting recommended, whatever failures you face. When you're aware that this is the reason I want to join the defense forces, that's when you keep pushing yourself. You keep reminding yourself of, yes, this reason, this is why I had started, this is why I will keep going on. So whenever you're in troubles, just keep it in mind. Why did you start? How did you begin? And that helps you push towards your limits, pushes you even after, despite many failures. I'm a live example. So yeah, find out that reason which causes that spark and that motivation in you to join the defense forces. Why you're willing to do everything, work very hard and put in all efforts to join the defense forces. Why? This is one of the most important questions asked in the SSB. Be true to your heart, be true to them, be honest. If you're not honest, they'll get to know he's bluffing, he's just trying to impress or something. Just be honest. Whatever reason it is, answer from heart, right? Because your reasoning, this reason will define how you will perform in the forces. It will define, are you going to last in the forces? So the answer of yours tells the assessors, is he or she suitable in the forces? Is he or she capable of being in the forces? Are their expectations so much जो उनको defense में नहीं मिलेंगे? Something like that, right? So identify all these things. What the defense has to offer. What do you want from the defense? What are the opportunities in defense, and how do you want to live your life? Make a mixture of all these things, balance all these things, and then figure out your answer. Will I really be happy in the defense forces? It's an important question. It's very important we analyze this. Give it a thought. Jai Hind.